We're coming after you. We're gonna solve that mystery. Let's see you, Scooby-Doo. The trail leads back to you. What's the Scooby need to? Na 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 na. Hey guys, how's it going? It is I, the real Randy Chavez. I'm coming at you today with an Earth 2 and Veve Akomi Omi update video. Guys, if you're new, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. I love you all. Everyone say hello to Dashi. Hello, Dashi. So, first thing what I want to bring up was apparently this has gotten worse. Is the fact that you have those guys that yesterday I had said made that Earth 2 crypto and not knowing their intentions, which I have a better idea of their intentions now. They were saying like, yeah, first off, the entire thing was riddled with spelling errors. Again, I don't know if English was their first language or not. Whoever made that, I don't know if they're he's, if they're she's, where they're from, but that should largely be ignored. Them pretty much saying like, oh, if you don't do this, or like Shane is going to have to accept this one way or the other. Definitely do not. Anyone that has to force their ideals on you, has to force anything on you, is someone that should probably be ignored. That should probably be like, hey, you probably don't have other people's best interests at heart when you do that. So when the fact that they said, hey, at first when I saw it yesterday, the people that were coming out with the Earth 2 crypto, first, it wasn't official. It caused Shane to tweet something saying, "Do not have anything, anything that is not from Shane or the official E2 team on their website is not affiliated with Earth 2." So already Shane's basically saying, "No, that's not us. That is not going to be affiliated by us." But they mentioned Shane on their website, saying like, "Oh well, Shane, is this a part of E2? Well, we want it to be. Is the real Randy Chavez involved? Well, we want him and British guy Dork Slayer. I don't know why we were the only two named. I guess because he has like an army behind him." And I'll get to the British guy Dork Slayer stuff later, but they have these guys have this, or these people have this idea that again, what they could have done yesterday might have just been in good fun, but then they come out today and they're saying like, no, we're going to be the official Earth 2 coin. Shane has to accept us. Again, riddled with spelling errors. Is very unprofessional. Do not. I would not touch that with a 10-foot pole. I would not give them guys $3. I would not advise anyone to go invest that. That's not something even that I would say, oh yeah, maybe a long time, yeah, I'll throw a couple grand at it. No, I would not give them $3. Again, just my opinion, just my advice, just the way that their handling of the situation from yesterday to today, I dislike that. So aside from that, we do have some more Earth 2 news, and I'll get to Veve Akomi in a second. It's with and you guys saw the video promo I did before, where Nameless was being interviewed, from Guidebook Gaming. Nameless, from the leader of one of the biggest guilds, or if not the biggest guilds in Earth 2 of Alpha Kingdom, and it's probably all in good fun, most likely, but it was having somebody from British guy Dork Slayer's army saying like, Dork Slayer knows all, sees all, and basically calling out the fans of Guidebook Gaming, saying they're only there for free stuff. They're only there for free things. So I made a video promo about it. Like, all right, that's one thing that's going to be, I think, very, very big. It's going to be PvP. It's going to be guild versus guild. It's going to be Silent Hunter Projects versus Kraken. It's going to be British guy Dork Slayer versus Alpha Kingdom. It's going to be Chavez Topia versus the North Pole. South Pole versus North Pole. I don't know if there is a Megacity on the North Pole. Whatever it is, it's going to be really fun. I'm very excited for it. I like this WWE type of drama, like this type of like, what is Nameless gonna do? Without hurting my voice more than it's already been hurting. So that's something that I thought was pretty fun, pretty interesting, and that's what's going to keep the hobby going as we wait on updates for phase 2 and all that. As far as Veve and Akomi is concerned. Okay, so there's this guy, I think his name Crypto something. He had made, and I had gotten sent a bunch of things today about an old school, like a 2019 promo from Akomi, from the actual company, and they were saying a bunch of things, and a list of examples would include talking about their licenses, and they're talking about Harry Potter, Game of Thrones, The Simpsons, South Park, which again Simpsons is owned by Disney now. I think at the time Simpsons was just owned by Fox, by Century 21, 20th Century Fox, not Century 21. But even still, which again, I'm not sure when Disney got the exclusive rights to everything, including The Simpsons. But on top of that, they did mention Dragon Ball Z, they did mention Pokemon, they mentioned Harry Potter, they mentioned Disney, they mentioned all these different things, which now you could interpret that one of two different ways. You could interpret that as, oh, a list of examples, and the list of the examples that they put could include these, or like there's a list of examples that we actually have. Again, they have said that every single license that they've wanted, they have gotten. They are like pretty girls that have never heard the word no. Like, get whatever they want, they get. And what that means is if they listed that as their list of examples, either that they already had or stuff that they wanted that they could get, they got it. So again, just a little more confirmation. Again, I think it's Cavell Anderson. Go to one of his pages, and he broke the news, or he didn't break the news. He just covered it. But he'll have the link in the description there. I don't have it for mine because I didn't have time. I was too busy watching Guidebook Gaming. Again, if you want free tiles, again, they give away the most Class 1 free tiles ever. Link down below. They give away every single stream, multiple times a stream. So moving on from that, the burn today, the Tokidoki that sold out. My experience, and what I'm going to have to start telling people is that I will, every Thursday, I will start telling people exactly, every Wednesday I'll tell people what my plan is, which drop I'm going to try for, whether it's the rare, the ultra rare, the uncommon, whatever. And then on Thursday night, after it happens, I will tell them exactly what I got. Because I got about 35 messages this morning saying like, hey, what did you get? What'd you get? Did you get this? How'd you make it out? I was like, oh my God. So it took me a little while to answer everyone. So what I plan to do is, like I said yesterday, like, you know what? It's worth it. Like, because again, I wanted the uncommon. I wanted the one with the tattoo showing, because the rare and the ultra rare didn't show the tattoo. I was like, all right, well, if I want art, if I want something that's beautiful and pretty, I'll get the one with the tattoo. So I went and I tried for I didn't try for that originally, but the one that had it was like $50 or whatever. So I was like, if I try for the one that's $100, that's the ultra rare, and if I get it, then I could go and sell it for 5x, because literally like they're all selling for 5 or 6x minimum right now for that ultra rare. So it's like, okay, well, that would be a good idea, and it's worth it. Where if I get that, I could sell it, and then just get my NFT for free and make money on top of that. And if I don't get it, it's fine, because then the $50 NFT becomes $100-something NFT. Yeah, okay, whatever. But it's worth it if I can. It's worth the risk. If I fail, then I fail. I can afford $150. But if I succeed, then that's several $100s that I get. A couple hundred profit. So I went and did that, and I was in there when it started. I clicked buy it now, and it said 848 out of 888 left. So it's like, oh my God, I'm gonna get a great serial number. We're gonna get it. And then it said a reservation could not be met, and then it went back to spinning, and then it kicked me off the site. It's like, are you kidding me? So then I just, all right. So I X out of the app, then I go back in, I try to get the uncommon, and then just keep spinning. I was like, all right, it's done. I done fudged up. I done goofed. And so I goofed, and I didn't get anything yet. So I was like, oh, I was like, so I didn't get it yet. But because of that, again, they sold out. They didn't put a lot on there. Like there was only 888 for the ultra rare, and the comments like that. There wasn't too many. There wasn't like tens of thousands of them between all of them. So what I did was, did some calculations, and which I think I showed this morning. The burn is going to be, just from that, over almost $250 million just from that. And they even had a thing on Twitter today. One of the things, how much do you think it burned? 80 million, 120 billion, 150 billion, or 220 million plus. M is Mike. And of course I put 220 million because that's the calculations go to. And I was like, I'm not surprised at that. So they knew this burn is ridiculous because of the price. The price actually did raise a bit. It was down to like 0.0039, and it went up to 0.0046 or whatever. But again, that price is pretty negligible. When these things are going to be a couple of cents or 10 cents. 10 cents by the end of the year, I still think. So that's something that I think is going to be very, very relevant in the future. But right now, the price differential, even though it might look like this, compared to when the price is up here, that means nothing. So I'm very excited with what's been happening with that. Moving on, I will get to questions now. It's enough of me talking. It's enough of me, shooting my jab. Junior Sanchez says, "Oh, what's going on?" Jack Mitchell says, "Chavez, Chavez, let's get this bread. Let's like this video." Bump fists together. How I Made says, "Yo, yo, yo, clocking in." Earth 2 Review says, "Hello." Oh, Maxwell Cook, he messaged me before. He's just like, "Hey, sorry, I'm going to miss the rest of Guidebook Gaming stream, and I'm going to miss the beginning of your stream, but there's some crawfish down here." I don't know if he's from Louisiana, but the crawfish is pretty heckin' good. Those crawfish, oh my god. It's like little shrimp, just crack open, suck the meat out, and then, anyone has seen Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island, they make those crawdad shells look so heckin' amazing. Actually, that's what I'm going to do for my 30-minute song. I'm going to sing Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island. Aria Realty says, "Hello, Dashi." Oh, thank you, Aria Realty, for paying attention to my precious down there. Basilio says, "Good evening, all." Cole Oikle says, "Hello, pals." Moon Moon says, "Hi, the real Randy Chavez." Hey, how's it going, Moon Moon? Vittoria Jean Pascal says, "Which side do we have to choose when we have tiles on land of all guilds? Chavez Topia first?" Winky face, doing that winky face like Agatha Harkness from WandaVision. I love those memes when they say like, "Oh, we're only taking this cat for a couple of days until he finds a new home," like me and the cat, because we're gonna keep the cat. Yeah, I mean, by all means, it's all in good fun. I think Chavez Topia is probably going to be one of the best. Although there's going to be a lot of different alliances, similar to when World War II happened. U.S. had these countries had alliances with these countries had alliances with these countries. So when one of them was attacked, the alliances that kicked in basically, "Oh, you attacked me? Oh, now you unlocked my trap card. Oh, trap card." And it goes in chains, it goes in blocks, and it goes in, yeah. You activated my trap card. That's pretty much what's going to go down. If any real war does happen, there's going to be competitions, there's going to be stuff. But yeah, I do welcome that. I like a good challenge. That'll be fun. So, when Awan Shinema Chuck Mool says, "New crypto song, Star Fox La Flare." Crypto. Oh, Star Fox. Gotta love Star Fox. Always love Star Fox. I got stuck loading forever, but I still ended up with uncommon 111. Wow. It's the same combination I have in my luggage. No, it's a Spaceballs reference. That's really cool. Banger. RH says, "Hello, everyone." Hello, RH. How's it going today? And then we got Guidebook Gaming says, "Nobody wants smoke with AK." Nobody wants smoke with AK. AK obviously standing for Alpha Kingdom. Thank you, Guidebook Gaming, for hopping on in. I try to make these after your streams, which is great. Appreciate that super chat. Earth 2 Review says, "Gate.io lets you lend out OMI. Would you recommend?" As long as Gate.io is reputable, which I think it is, don't quote me on that, obviously do your own research, but they say lending out as far as getting money back. For me, that would work out perfectly. Like if you lend out your OMI and then you make, 2, 5, 10%, whatever they offer you. Yeah, because again, I'm not going to sell that. That's only something that I have. That's something that I have long term. The only way, which I think it might be bad, is if you lend it out now, you're getting 10% on. Yeah, let's say if it is 10%, it might not be that high though. That seems a little high. On 0.00, you're getting it on less than half a penny. But if you wait till it's like 5 or 10 cents, then okay, then you're getting 10 cents on 10 cents. Or 10% on 10 cents, which is better. So I think that you might get a little bit of slight regret that you're getting 10% on a smaller amount when in 4 or 5 months you could have gotten 10% on a larger amount. But either way, for me, I wouldn't care. I would keep doing that. I would keep I would lend out the whole thing because again, I'm not going to sell. So if I have to lend it out for a year, don't have access to it for a year, that's okay with me because I have Bitcoin, I have Tesla, I have Pokemon cards. I can, and that's just with the 5.5 million only that I have now. That's not including when I sell that card. And same thing, I would want to do that with the Earth 2 coin as well. I hope it's something that we can stake. I hope it's something that we can and make NFTs with. I mean, that'd be interesting. That might have a little bit of conflict with the NFTs that are already floating around with the trading cards. They're so much fun. Those things are amazing. Gotta collect them all. It says yummy crawfish Cajun. Yeah, I used to live with this guy who's from Louisiana. Abbeville, Louisiana is where he's from, and my God, he was a good cook. He seasoned everything. It was great. Scott Andrews says you're wrong about Omi leaving GoChain. No, I think it was Dan Crothers or it was Reese. One of them had it confirmed on a stream that they were leaving GoChain, unless they changed it again. So actually if they said actually me and us and GoChain we worked it out or we're still together. If that's the case, then that's great. They don't have to move. I like GoChain because it's carbon neutral, and I think it's something that the Earth 2 coin will be on. So that's again, I like that. That makes it all in one place for me. That'd be great. How I Made says steak cake on pancake swap ROI is 140%. I don't know what steak cake is, but I was staking, but cake on pancake. All right, so wow, that's so much. That actually scares me. Like, why is so much being given back to you? That does me a concern. I'm not sure why. Well, I know why it does me a concern. I'm not sure why they're offering that much. That's each year. That's a ridiculous amount. If you as per year. Again, thank you again, Guidebook Game, for that. $10 super chat. Guidebook Game said, "Is Randy joining the When Phase 2 movement?" So I actually have done the past couple of live streams, which I know it's I do so many live streams. I do so many whatever. I have if you're still here, Guidebook Gaming, I've mentioned I think the last 3 live streams the fact that hey, look at the leaderboard. You see a bunch of people and like the top 20 people changing their names. They still have the same names, what they are, but I've mentioned, Nameless. I mentioned Tech Ops. I think Earth 2 Mastery as well had their name changed. So when is Phase 2? And then you have E2 the Boss, who's like an unofficial, not accomplice, just alliance, saying like $34,000 will they pay out, or $34,000 transaction still pending. So he's kind of an unofficial sponsor with this as well. Earth 2 Meta making that video. Earth 2 Meta dropping some, not dropping the hands, just dropping those strong hints on Shane's Twitter, saying, hey, we like this, but can we get updates for Phase 2, please? Like, just throwing it out there, like, no smoke, just all blunt, very conscientious, like, and then they had like 30-something likes on that. I was like, oh, he doing it. I was just a little more facetious on that Twitter comment. I was like, when Moon, when Phase 2, when this, when Essence, when Crypto. And, just to kind of troll a little bit. I haven't done I haven't done an actual video just on that subject, but I have mentioned it the last 3 streams about saying, and mentioning Guidebook Gaming, saying, hey, we would all love to continue to fight for Earth 2 and take on those who doubt Earth 2, but it would just be much easier to do if we were to get an update just on when it is, just a time frame. Like, we don't care if you say it's in 2 weeks from now, 2 months from now, or even next year. We don't care. We just want something to work with, so we know. We just want to be kept in the loop, I feel like. Ari Realty says, AK is the alpha of all the guilds. Alpha, alpha, alpha. Alex, what's going on, bud? Says, hey, Randy, 6:30 a.m. here. I'm telling you, bro, they have all those brands signed and sealed ink. Star Wars and Pokemon, for me, that is 100% confirmation. Game over. Coming to the heck of the moon. So, Alex, I agree 100%. I have assumed, I have assumed that they've had that for a while. Just because, again, just logically, and just the way my brain thinks is that, okay, well, they have all of these licenses already, and they have Alfred Kahn, the godfather of licenses, making billions of dollars just doing what he did best. It would be hard to get some of these guys if, okay, well, they didn't have anyone. But if they already have Cartoon Network, they have NFL, they have all of these. It's not that hard to be able to get one of those big brands once the other ones come in. Again, Hello Kitty, second highest grossing media franchise of all time. They have NFL, which, again, the Super Bowl each year brings in like 120 million people on there, which is incredible. Cartoon Network, such a nostalgic brand. I don't know if they have Hanna-Barbera, but Hasbro being a nostalgic brand in general. Every couple of days to every week, I do get that. I do see someone make a post about how, if you don't know, Hasbro owns, and I've done this in my videos, I haven't done it on a live stream, Hasbro owns Death Row Records, which happens to have Tupac. It happens to have Dr. Dre. It happens. So people are saying like, oh, can we get a Tupac NFT? And technically, that is possible. Hasbro owns Death Row Records, and they have licenses with Hasbro. Again, with the My Little Pony, with Transformers, and I don't think what else Hasbro has, but yeah. So that is technically a possibility. That would be pretty insane. I don't know if that would happen just yet. It's very, very controversial. That would be a very controversial move. I would like them to wait a couple of years before they do that, but that's something I would enjoy as well. Maxwell Cook says, "Sorry, I'm late. More grown-up drinks. Oh, daddy sodas for the win." Yeah, I had on my Tesla stream I had before. I was having a daddy beverage, but that is done now. I did that, and then I took a nap. Not really. I did a bunch of other stuff. And it was Alex. Yeah. John Doe says, "I'm gonna make a GoFundMe for the devs for $45K for all of them to go on vacation for a week." That's not a bad idea. I wouldn't do it in GoFundMe though, because GoFundMe takes a percentage. I'll just do it on maybe something that's not a GoFundMe. Maybe do it on like a public place, make like a public PayPal or whatever. Thank you for 10 likes. It's amazing. Yeah, I mean, also they don't need money. They are very well capitalized, but they just need the time. Again, time is your most valuable asset. It was Tony Stark's father, or at least Tony Stark quoting his father, said, "No amount of money ever paid for a second of time." Which you sometimes that's not true. So you have to buy back time. It's like, okay, well, I have all this money in no time. I have laundry to do. I have to cut my grass. I have to do this. Okay, well, pay someone to do your laundry for you. Drop it off at a laundromat. Drop off 3 days worth of clothes to a laundromat. Pay someone to go and mow your lawn. And I dated a girl that was like, well, why would you do that? Why would you waste money? It's like, well, if you're working 60, 80, 100 hours a week, you don't want to do that on the spare 1 hour you have left. You want to pay other people to do that, create jobs, and then, spend that time with your family or your loved ones or doing what you want to do, playing Frisbee, whatever. So some people don't get that when working too much. Probably why me and that girl didn't work out, because she couldn't make time a lot. But anyway, outside of that is definitely if we can like clone ourselves, or we can make sure that they have enough workers, qualified workers, that would be really good too. Guybo Gaming giving some love to Aria Realty. Guybo Gaming says, "The slogan of When Phase 2 movement is, we don't want a rush product, we want a realistic timeline." Ooh, that's good. Maybe I will put that on my next Twitter, because I tag them and stuff all the time on Twitter. So I will totally do that on Twitter. I'm actually going to screenshot that right now. So I'm going to put, hey, yeah. When do Phase 2? All right, we don't want a rush product, we want a realistic time. Again, that was screenshotted, and we got Raythax here with a $20 super chat. It's on Chavez Topia for the win. So those that don't know, Raythax did me the huge honor of getting ChavezTopia.eth and sent that to me today. I now have a MetaMax wallet. I did not have that before. I think it's MetaMax. I have the phrase saved somewhere. So thank you for that. So ChavezTopia.eth will be a great EPL. That'll be a great so I'm trying to get all the ChavezTopia stuff in right now. Ambulance Camping says, "But by demanding a timeline, you are rushing a product." Well, no. Well, yes and no. We just want them to keep us in the loop. And we don't care if we're not saying we want Phase 2 in 2 months, and if you don't get Phase 2 in 2 months, we're walking. No, nobody's saying that. They're saying that they just want a timeline. They just want a timeline, say, when can we expect it? Again, you could tell us it's in 2 months. You could tell us it's in a year from now, or even longer. And that's okay. We just want to know when. We're just tired of being in the dark, so to speak. Again, and I'm just going to be real here. I'm just going to be real with you. Maybe this is one of my not finer points. I know it is, because my first thought is thinking, okay, get these paper hands out of here. Get these people to sell all their stuff, and let us that has a little bit of extra capital, or those of us that know where the project is going, to say, all right, let's buy it up while we can, because we know there's a limited amount of tiles. And then, I was not thinking of those people. Like, those people are obviously going to regret it in 2 years' time, when we're all making oodles of cash, just with resources and tiles, and maybe Phase 3 at that point in 2 years. Um, but you shouldn't want that for people. You should want, if we're all in, especially my subscribers here, my family, you should want the best for your friends. You should want the best for humans. You hope that it works out because they're human and they're going through stuff too. So the best thing that I think I should try to do with my platform is to say, like, okay, well, just my advice would be to hold on, and that's good life for advice for life too. Hold on during the hard times. Like, I remember my high school back in the day. They made a couple of calculating errors with their budget, and they hired some extraordinarily good teachers, young teachers that weren't 50 years old, and the tenure they had made them teach like Jimmy Kimmel or Charlie Rose, and they bored the class asleep. There were young teachers that were good at what they did, but they made that calculation error in their budget, and they fired the young teachers. Like, you heckin' idiots! You hold on to the good stuff that you know is going to pay dividends, not to the school but to the kids. Same thing with this. Or at least I know that this is going to work in the future. I know that whenever it is, whether it's a couple months from now, a couple years from now, I know what project this is. That's why I'm not tripping that Tesla right now was at like 880 and now it's under 600 a share. I'm not tripping that I was buying Bitcoin at 65,000. It went down to 46,000 the other day. Well, I'm not tripping that I bought OMI at 0.007, 0.008, and now it's down to less than 0.0. It dropped down to below 0.004. I'm not tripping like that because I know I only invest in, I think, good products. I have not lost money on, I don't think, anything the last 4 or 5 years. You can make the argument that when I was still buying, Tesla when it dipped from 880 to like 780, yeah, I bought there and now it's under 600. Okay, well, did I lose? Well, no, because I didn't sell. So again, that's just my little my long answer there. Amar Youssef says, "Hey Randy, do you think an NFT-based token such as OMI will do well during upcoming bear market? Hope to see you in Dubai at some point." Absolutely, Amar Youssef. Many people want to take me to Dubai, which I'm totally down for once this travel ban lifts. I think when a bear market does come, which that will come at some point, I don't think OMI will be immune to, because when that happens, just let's say when the market in general, when there are trillions of dollars in the market, well, tens of trillions of dollars in the market, that takes a hit. Well, really no stock is immune. The only ones that are, and they're not immune, they just recover the quickest, and they have that K-shaped recovery, are companies that are disruptive, innovative companies like Tesla, like Square, like PayPal, Illumina, Lemonade. These companies during the pandemic, yes, they fell like everyone else, but as everyone else, and this is them, they fell and they kind of slowly went back up. These other companies, and that's what happened. So no, they won't be immune to the fall when a bear market comes, but because they're in an industry that is disruptive and innovative and first to market, first of its kind. Oh my God, yeah. No, they will have that K-shaped recovery. They'll be one of the first to recover, and they're going to be one of the first that I buy during that dip, whenever it is. Moving on. Maxwell Cook says, "My phone's about to die. I'm almost home." Oh, Maxwell Cook, you go, get that charger, girl. HG Rock Online says, "Big Randy, big hug, bro. Say hi to Dashy." One Phase 2. Again, I think the One Phase 2 is a joke. We don't know. Guidebook Gaming says, "At Famblins Camping, not at all. Every project has a roadmap. They have a target date. It's standard practice. They are refusing to share it." Heck yeah. Well, honestly, all right. So Guidebook Gaming, if you're still here, I don't know if it's that they're refusing to share it. They just might not know. They might be so flustered and flabbergasted that, like, because again, they might have had to rewrite the code when they had everything set up for Phase 2, and then we have to deal with a chain coming in with GoChain, if that is GoChain that they're working with, and we have a crypto that they're tying to Essence. This is the other thing why I hate I strongly dislike that person that trying to say, like, oh, we're going to be the new crypto of Earth 2. We're going to be listed on Pancake. Like, okay, well, if you are going to be you don't know Earth 2's plans. They're probably going to want to integrate their crypto with their essence, with their resources. Are they going to be able to do that with yours? Did you think of that? Like, no. So that's why I dislike that project a bunch. They're just assuming a bunch of things that it's just gonna be so easy to take that crypto and integrate it with Earth 2, which it's not. It's simple, but it's not easy. Again, you know the groundwork for the coding, you know the groundwork, but I think they're flustered at the fact that they had to do this, and it might have been a bigger undertaking, and they just don't know. Like right now, they might only be guessing, which I guess giving us a guess, like, hey, right now we're estimating this timeline, but again, subject to change. Should they do that? Probably, but well, they definitely could do that. Should they? As again, they might have to weigh like, okay, maybe they're thinking, well, we could do that. We could be really honest and say this is what we think the timeline is going to be, but and then also have a ticker in there that says, hey, subject to change. But then they might be thinking, well, in a couple months down the road, when we think, oh no, this came up, and this is going to take a lot longer than we thought, and we have to change it. Maybe they're thinking like, well, then people are going to be saying like we lied. People are going to say that this and that, and it's above us. I can walk away. Like they might just not want to deal with the headache. They might just want to deal with the headache now, and then when they have a better idea, then say something a little more official. Again, I'm just speculating here, not 100% sure. Earth 2 Review says everyone has 24 hours a day, from the richest person to the poorest. 100% Earth 2 Review, 100%. And yeah, it's about using that, and it's hard though. It's very easy to fall into a bad routine or no routine. One of the best pieces of advice I got was from this guy Sergeant Bush, when he said, hey, when you deploy, get a routine. Get a routine going, whether it's breakfast, then you go to work for 12, 14 hours because you're deployed and have like no days off, and then you go to the gym, and then you play a video game or you Skype or whatever, and then you go to bed. But get a routine, and that was the best advice I think I've gotten in the military. Get good at your job was another one, but yeah, if you don't have a routine, like in the morning, sometimes I run, sometimes I don't, but either way, have breakfast, I stream, I go and I get lunch. I do what I need to do, whether it's dropping off laundry, and then I go to the gym, or I meet someone. I meet someone for lunch or whatever, and then I go to the gym, and then I come back and I get back to messages as much as I can, and then either make a video or I plan out content, or I watch Dragon Ball Z, or I watch the show that I watched in the '90s called Mysterious Ways, and then I stream again at night after dinner, after drinking a protein shake. So getting a routine is definitely the best, but it's easy to just like sleep the day away, Skype the day away. That's the best advice I can give. Again, Raythax, thank you so much for that $20 super chat. It means the world. Kimmo Chalkmool says Hasbro equals Power Rangers and G.I. Joe also. Yes, I mentioned G.I. Joe. Does Hasbro own Bandai? If they do, then heck yeah, Power Rangers to the moon. Freaking love Power Rangers. It's Morphin' time. Sorry, I love that. I love it. So that's one of the. If anyone likes Power Rangers, YouTube Power Rangers Power Glove. It's not just the theme song, but it's like the theme song, a metal version. It is so cool. It's amazing. I love that. We can claim EPLs now? No. That's just something that I have. Raythax just gifted that to me, and then I think King Tech Op said something about him having. Maybe it's not the EPLs. I think it's just having those actual domain names, as far as kingtechops.com or kingtechops.net or .org or what have you. It's not the EPLs yet. That we don't have. Yes, so Guy Gaming says when phase 2 movement. Pamela's Camming says, we love that about you. No reason to trip. We believe in visions. 100%. Maxwell go because it's Tesla at 800 versus now is like buying Omi at 1 penny and knowing it's okay. Yeah, 100%. I think that I love there was a review. I don't know why that made me think of it. Nostalgia Critic from he just does he's a movie critic and he does on nostalgia. He did something with another I think he's called like Critic Jew or Jew Critic. That's his name. It's not me making like a bad tasting joke or anything. And they did a review of Star Wars The Force Awakens. And they said that, long story short, they said that we wanted to make sure that they made a movie that was similar enough to the old movies that they knew it was good, but enough new characters, saying that we have a new roadmap, and just letting everyone know that we were making sure that the movie franchise would be okay. And that's what Earth 2 does with announcements. That's what Veve and Akomi does with their drops. with their double burn days that they're going to come out with and quadruple burn days that they're going to come out with, that even though the actual token, the coin Omi takes a hit, the actual company of Akomi is going to very much be okay. Like they I don't even think they care what the price is of their Omi coin, at least right now. I don't know how many of them are actively buying right now as far as the owners. I know I buy whenever a chance. I literally sent Aria Realty a screenshot. He screenshotted me something saying that, or he texted me saying that I have no. He says he has more invested in crypto than in his checking account, and I sent him a screenshot of my checking account that has $1,300 in it. Probably gonna have $800 by tomorrow. Yeah, so I have so much more invested than I do in my checking account. I have nothing in my checking account. King Tech Off says trip visions. What are we talking about now? Oh, not that type of trip, King Tech Ops. Although one day I did promise. Yeah, I was gonna figure out Shane's tweet this week. I didn't do it this week. I'm gonna have to try to do it next week. It's been a very very busy week. John Doe says invested in Lockheed and gun companies, always good in uncertain times. Yeah, there was a couple guys I was deployed with that they worked for DynCorp, which is one of the contractors the federal government uses. They use DynCorp, Corvallis, Blackwater federal contracts, and all that, and they said they buy stock in the company that they work with. It's like, yeah, like, because we're always like, they're so profitable, and they pass a decent amount of those savings. Like, part of me they pass a decent amount of those savings of those funds onto the people. They do the same jobs that we do in the military, but they get paid like 4 times as much as we do. So actually, in 2018, I had a job offer from Corvallis, or it was 2019, where it's just going down to wherever, Kuwait, Qatar, Afghanistan, Iraq, just driving a 60K. For those who don't know, 60K is like a large vehicle that you can put 6 pallets on that can hold up to 10,000 pounds per pallet. So it's called 60K because it can move 60,000 pounds worth of equipment at one time. And you just go there, and that was your job, just driving. Where when you're in the military, you're going and you're doing everything. You're building badge pallets, you're driving the forklift, driving 60K, going on aircraft, collecting manifests, driving passengers out, driving buses, vans. But when you have that job, when you have a sweet federal contractor gig, you just do that one job. Like, there are some people in Afghanistan that are contracted, I don't know if the USO does that, but they literally, in Afghanistan, you don't do your own laundry. But it's kind of nice. But in Kuwait, where we did our own laundry, which is like, oh man, we got to do our own laundry. So it just took time out of our day when you don't have a lot of time. And what happened was, in Afghanistan, you have people that are there that when you drop off your laundry, they say, here, sign this, and you sign it. And after you sign that, they write down a number, let's say it's 7-Eleven, and they give you a ticket slip that says 7-Eleven. It's like, okay, bring this ticket slip back when you pick up your laundry. And that's it. They make $100,000 a year to do that. Now, granted, it's in Afghanistan, so, you always got that threat of rocket attack and, the fireworks going. But still, I was like, my God, what am I doing? It was like 2016 me. I was in Kuwait. Like, what am I doing with my life that they're making like 4 times as much as me? They're sitting there with a clipboard. They don't got to do PT tests, nothing. Guidebook Gaming says, true, they might be rewriting code or any number of things. What happens in a development environment is you go through a process called sizing, where you estimate the timeline and project a date. Yeah, they probably should do that. I'd be more comfortable. Not that I would be more comfortable. It's just, can be something else to talk about. It would definitely. I wish they would do that just because it would kind of give people the, like, hey, we have a date. It would kind of answer some of the naysayers. Even though some of the naysayers would find something wrong with that anyway, I guarantee you they'd be like, oh yeah, well, call me when that happens. It's like, okay, like, naysayers are gonna be naysayers, but either way, we know. I think that would be more for the people in the middle that are kind of on the fence, and at least we have a date. The ones that are kind of thinking about leaving, kind of staying, and we want them to stay, because if they leave, they're going to miss out on a lot of money, and they're going to be one of those people, if they leave now, in 10, 15 years, if it takes that long, and be like, man, if I only would have stayed in E2, if I hadn't sold my stuff, I would have gotten in, but I was too skeptical, thought it was a scam. And sometimes it's good to be skeptical. Sometimes it's if you check out the video I was referencing before, where Nameless was being interviewed, one of the first things that he did when he heard about Earth 2 was just like cracking the knuckles, and he's just like, I'm going to find out if the Shane Isaac is really a real person, if Dylan really attached. These guys are going down. He's like all sassy, and he's about to like do his hardcore like investigation, and then I love that he goes in thinking one way, but open-minded enough to realize that when the information that he uncovers is presented to him, he thinks like, oh, okay, maybe my line of thinking was wrong, and then he forms a new opinion based on the new information that he found. I love that about him. It's being skeptical to the point where you're right. There's a lot of people that want to take you for a ride, in life, but investigating it and not being closed-minded, saying like, oh, okay, this is actually, oh, all right, maybe this is actually a good thing. And then just from that blossoms a what he turned into one of the biggest people in the game, definitely one of the most influential in the game as well. So that's really cool. Earth 2 review says, one more before bed. When do you think the Randy Chavez will get VR? I'd like to get it this year, but probably have to wait till next year. When I move. Yeah, I really. Because I don't really have a lot of room right now. I like fridge, box, table, pizza box. I guess there's some room over here, but then my door is literally another arm's length away, so it's not that much room right now. Fallon's Camping says, especially when the community reacts like this to a timeline change, they become more reluctant to make time frame promises. That's true. Very, very true. Frankie Boy 261 says, pretty sure we know they will have DC Titans. Yeah, they have DC. They have a bunch of things with DC, so that makes sense as well. Chris Aloro says, yo, Randy, what up, Chris Aloro? Apple Pine says, what's up, Randy? Again, missed like 40 minutes of the live. Well, it's okay, because you were, yeah, all right, so, but yeah, about 40 minutes. What did I go over before? I guess a quick recap is those people that are saying that they are an official Earth 2 crypto, they're not an Earth 2 crypto. They're not the Earth 2 coin. Stay away from that. Like, run. Like, that isn't, they're alien. They don't have people's best interests at heart. And again, yesterday when I made that comparison, when I talked about them, I was saying like, okay, well, they might be, I don't know what their intentions are. It might be good. They might be decent people. They might just want, to get the project moving along a little bit, which they still might. But then today they came up with like an announcement saying that, again, both of these posts, everything on the website is just riddled with spelling errors, and not that I'm one, to really nitpick about that, but something like, okay, if you're going to try to represent Earth 2, please try to represent it in the best way possible. At least proofread, at least make it clean. And they were just saying like, well, actually, for those people that are saying we're not a real Earth 2 crypto, Shane's going to have to accept us because we have crypto and they don't. And but just the way they're going about it, I would not touch them with a 10-foot pole. And then I went over the Alpha Kingdom / Dork Slayer potential scuffle with Risticuffs in Fisticuffs in there, possibly fighting in Chavez-topia. That'd be great to host that event. And then for Omi, it's just saying that they burned so much coins today in that burn with that drop, which is amazing. I love that for them. Kabagim says, I believe in this project with my whole existence. That's why I get fired up. I'm going to hodl. I'm sure some people don't think so, but this movement is to help the devs. Yeah, I believe that too, because like I said, it's easier for all the content creators to take on the naysayers when we have an actual timeline from the dev. So yeah, I believe that. Maxwell Cook says, when Omi hits 50 cents, he will have it all and still be hodling. No, I'll hodl most of it. I'll probably at that point, let's say if I have, let's say 20 million Omi at that point. When it hits 50 cents, I might sell. If I sell, all right, let's say I sell 10%. Then, okay, I sell 2 million Omi, and if they're worth 50 cents, then that's $1 million. as long as I have something to do with that money. Well, I know Ari Realty wants me to go in on with them, the real estate company. I could definitely launch that there. I could do, as long as there's something for me to do, I'll do that. Because again, you should take some profit, but at the same time, that I still think that is short-term thinking, even though that's probably going to happen by 2023, maybe 2024. And excuse me, as that happens, I feel like 2034, this might be $3 or $5 by that point, and I just feel like I'd be robbing my future self. Which again, if it's I have 20, if I have at that point 18 million coins, then I still have more than enough. It's fine. I just have an issue selling. That my positive, the one thing I'm very good at is investing. My issue is selling. My issue is never selling. I'm making peace with the Pokemon right now, but that's been very hard. Apple Pine says, thanks for the recap. Appreciate it. No problem, Apple Pine. Gotcha, fam. Maxwell Cook says, talking about your VR question, should have specified. Yes. John Doe says, don't sell the OMI. Put your password and username in a time capsule and come back in 10 years. Yeah, that'd be cool. I mean, also you'd, if it's to fund other projects, I'll do it. Like again, I wanted, when I made the timeline, like in 2019, I wanted to have a house built for Best Friends Animal Societies in Utah, and that is a very, very big up and coming area. Not Utah itself, just where they're at down in southern Utah, near Kanab, Utah, and rising house and rent prices are something of a concern because more people are moving there and more houses can be built, that type of thing. So I wanted to build a house specifically for the people that work for Best Friends Animal Society for Kanab, Utah, and say like, okay, well, at least here's a house for some of the workers, and I will charge like the cheapest, whatever the cheapest rent is around that, I'll charge like half that, and then after that, my project would be to buy land in Madagascar for, for endangered species, but again, I might be able to do that by 2025. I could build a house for a couple $100,000, and I could buy the $500,000 property in Madagascar. And I could do that multiple times. But in 2025, again, 2025 should be $1, which would be great. But yeah, even if it's 50 cents, I could sell it and do that. Oh, moving on. Doug E. Fresh says, "What's your price prediction for OMI in 2030?" I don't know, $3. Yeah, I'll say $2.50 to $3 by 2030, and again that could change, but that's probably what I mean. That is a lot, even if it was a penny right now. So that's about 600x of where it is right now. Even $1 is a lot, but again, you have something that the asset gets less and less, so the value becomes more and more as it goes down, as more gets burned. And again, the marketplace in general burns $1 million OMI a day, and that's now with not a lot of NFTs. As this gets higher and higher, yeah, we're going to see a lot more. So, Family's Cam says Kanab is beautiful. Great grandmother lived there. I have fond memories of. I was supposed to go last year for I'm in what's called their Golden Circle, where if you donate like more than like $1,000, you get put on a Golden Circle on a preferred list. Whatever. Woo! Sorry, throat hurts. And on that list, I had you get a free tour. So I was going to fly out there. I have a few friends that live in Salt Lake City or just below that that were going to make the drive to come meet me. There were some girls that I had deployed with. Fantastic ladies. They're my Woman Crush Wednesdays in 2016. One of the dates. And but then the pandemic hit. I was like, you kidding me? Yeah, that was crazy. John Doe says, what do you envision as your dream costume for E2 Avatar? Oh, that's a good one. Actually, what I'm going to show you guys... my body! Oh god, it burns. Oh god, pizza. Not many of you have seen me in my... I have a Bowser jacket, and it looks really... So I might see if they could try to commission this. They have like Bowser's children inside, and then... on the back, I don't know if Yeah, you got the actual Bowser thing. So if I could wear this inside of Earth 2, I would be ecstatic. Because, again, Chavez Topia's in Antarctica. Probably going to be a little chilly. Um, I get so many compliments on that jacket. Okay. I'll try to put that on. And maybe, if anyone's seen Rocket Power, they have Twister on his helmet. He has little wings on his helmet. And it's just when he skates, it looks like he's flying. I would like something like that. Not that I want a helmet, but maybe like something like a thing that like Loki has, but something with wings on the side. I think that'd be really cool. It just kind of reminds me of Super Mario 64 when you get that winged hat and you can fly and it's really cool. It's fun. I'd want that and maybe a scooter, not like an old people scooter, like an actual scooter. Um, Maybe like some wrestling like spandex tights, like what Eddie Guerrero had when he had the flames on. That'd be so cool too. How fast did the drop sell out today? 15 minutes, 17 minutes, something like that. I'm not sure. Are you still long Tesla? 100%. I literally did a live stream before, pretty much all about Tesla because of Elon Musk's tweet. But yeah, still long Tesla. And if I had the money, I would buy more now, just because it's so undervalued, in my opinion. Yeah, I don't care if it goes down to 300. If it goes down to 300 share, I'm definitely buying more. But it won't. It's up to it's down to like 590 or whatever it was. It's something that, or again, during the beginning of the year or earlier in this year, it was up to like 880, and now being down to like under 600. That's something that it should. Again, they grow by like 50 or 60% every year. Nobody does that. Nobody, not at least at this scale, when they're already a $700 billion company. Whatever they are. Nobody does that each year, but they do consistently every single year over year. Their only issue is not demand. It's that they're not demand constraint. They're material constraint. They can't get enough. I think was it cobalt or sodium, whatever it is. They're just constrained with that. Whatever they make, they sell. They have no demand issues whatsoever, and they are disruptive in so many different ways. That is going to be the most valuable company in the world by 2030. Mark my words. Probably before then, but heard it here first. Moving on. Maxwell Cook says, wait, did you go from something about, oh no, my pizza, to a Bowser jacket? Yeah, because I had pizza, and my jacket was on the chair, and the pizza was on the chair, so I moved the pizza, which... Shut up. John Doe says, sounds like a Hermes hat. Not sure what a Hermes hat is, but again, just Google rocket power, Twister, helmet. Got the little wings. Tesla, Dougie Fresh says, Tesla stock you will hold forever? Well, eventually Elon Musk is going to step down from Tesla and he's just going to work at SpaceX. Because that's his main thing. Or one of his main things. Neuralink as well, he probably wants to spend more time there. So maybe by 2030 I'd sell Tesla. Just because at that point it'll be a multi-trillion dollar company. Maybe at that point they'll start doing dividends, and I might not need to sell Tesla because I have 188 shares. If each share does I don't know at that point. Well, at that point they're definitely going to split again. They're going to split again in the next couple of years. And when you say split, it's like every one share you have. When Tesla did their last split, if you had one share, now you have 5 shares. If you had 2 shares, now you have 10 shares. So they'll do another split. They'll do probably a couple of them by that point. And if they start doing a dividend at that point, I might keep it just for the dividend because it's just an extra stream of revenue. A dividend, like they'll give you money each quarter, basically. And what I would do with that dividend, I don't know. I have zero idea. Chubata says, "Hey, bro, stepped in to say, sure, I have a good stream. Oh, thanks, Chubata. Thanks, man." So I did not do my 30-minute thing, so I'm gonna do my 55-minute thing here. What was I say? Scooby-Doo. Oh yeah. You heard the screeching of an owl. You hear the wind begin to howl. You know there's zombies on the prowl. 'Cause it's terror time again. Got you running through. That's a new. Just keeping it with the Scooby-Doo theme tonight. I did What's New Scooby-Doo in the beginning. We did that Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island in the hour here. So Outside of that, what else is on everyone's mind? All right, we got Nick Lucero says, "Hey yo, looking at adding something besides OMI. Was looking at more standard portfolio, Bitcoin, Ethereum, ADA, Link, ICP. Thoughts? ICP, Insane Clown Posse. I know what that is. I think if we're doing the classical investing way, it should probably be, again, probably, which I'm not following this. This is not what I'm doing, but if I was to give advice to someone for a little more stable, a little more stability, a little less risky, I would probably say 50% of what you should have should go, again, for crypto, money that you're willing to lose, 50% should probably be in Bitcoin. Maybe 15 to 20% should be in Ethereum. 10 to 15% should be in OMI, and then ADA is probably a good bet. The Cardano. CRO is probably a good bet long term as well. You split it up between those guys, and I'm saying that because OMI is, any company that comes into a new space has the risk of Google or Apple. Well, Google's already making so much money off them; they're probably not going to touch it, and Apple's making so much money off them; they're probably not going to touch it. But you have that thing where like Facebook or Amazon comes in and they're making NFTs as well. They could throw $3, $5, $10 billion onto it, and just completely outspend everyone else. And yeah, they could do it. Again, Facebook has 10,000 workers working on their VR. That's not exactly, yay, got 20 likes. That's not exactly them saying, hey, all of that's going to be in NFTs. It's probably a couple of them are going to be in NFTs. But again, OMI is still a little bit of a risk, but I think it's a very calculated risk. I think the dice that we're rolling are weighted. I think it's weighted very heavily in our favor. That's why, again, I'm not doing that advice. What I'm doing is in crypto right now, at the ones that are available, 50% in Bitcoin, 50% in OMI. And then when Earth 2 comes out, however much that's going on in there, I don't know how much it will go in there. Probably a good amount. Yeah, God, that's gonna be so much. And then that's just for crypto, not including Tesla, not including Pokemon cards. Which still, after I sell that big one, I still might have maybe 50, 60 grand worth of cards, maybe 70, that I could liquidate as well if I wanted to. Although I don't want to. I feel like Iron Man's like, oh, she wants me to change. The truth is, I don't want to change. Like, I don't want to sell any. I don't want to sell these cards I have now. Oh God, so stressful. Doug Efresh says, "Wow, you're holding 188 shares of Tesla. I just got 5. Yeah, like I said last year, Doug Efresh, when that when I thought my high risk lending business was going out of business because none of my clients were paying because they weren't allowed to work because of the pandemic, I was not in a good way mentally. Like, it was not a good time. I was going to close down that business, and I was going to just stick with Pokemon, and all the aging receivables that I could collect, I was just dumping into Tesla. So I put literally everything I had, every penny that I had was going into Tesla, because I knew they were a very underrated company, and they still are. So yeah, I bought a lot. Frankie Boy says, I got an ultra rare today during the drop, but I'm going to hodl it because the resale for it will be over 2K later down the road. Yeah, agreed 100%. Only 888 of those. And again, it's different from Pokemon cards in a way where, let's say there's 100 of them first edition PSA 10. Okay, well, if you don't want a PSA 10, let's say that one's worth $400. You can get a PSA 9 for probably, $80, and you can get a, 8 for $40. So there's many different options that you could get for quality, but these are all one quality. The really lower thing, the thing that separates them is serial number. They're all going to look the same, but the serial number is one that, oh, that's weird, 30, 20, 30. That looks weird. That looks awesome. What you're seeing is the serial numbers, and I think that's it. And if you have a complete set, it's part of a complete set. But that's really it. And 888 is not a lot. That's not a lot for the 250, 300,000 users that we have now. That's definitely going to be a small amount for especially people that are looking to complete a set. That the millions that are going to come in, yeah, that's definitely going to be a lot. And that's something that's not even Batman. That's something that's not even that's really big in the West. That's something that's really more Eastern. Which again, those people come in and pay oodles of money for that as well, especially with a good serial number. Brian Flint says, "Hey guys, hit that like button." Yeah, yeah, Brian Flint, you tell him. You tell him. Fraggy Boy 261 says, "Internet Computer Protocol, new coin." Oh, okay, that's what ICP means. My dumbass thinking insane clown posse. But I'll show my age with that one. Either way, Internet Computer Protocol, new coin. I'm not 100% sure what that is. I haven't done research on it yet. I'm actually relatively new. I didn't really start studying Bitcoin until end of last year, and then, after that, I had things like crypto updates, Bitcoin/crypto updates, and now, OMI, and then getting into other things like like Cardano, and going into Doge because Elon Musk is talking with the developers of Doge, saying that, hey, we're going to make you a little more carbon neutral. I think Elon Musk does want to have Doge as being accept payment for Doge. I don't know if he's going to keep that on his balance sheet. That'd be insane. Moving on. Maxwell Cook says, how does one become a patron? So, Maxwell Cook, if you look, Patreon list, down below, that should say in the description, Patreon. And what you would do is you go there, and there's different tiers where, like, $1. You can go in for $1 and be a patron, have your name there, and that's it. If you want to support the channel and you want to do something more than liking, commenting, and subscribing, which does help the channel 100%, totally become a Patreon member, Maxwell Cook, and all it costs is $1. But you could do whatever you want. If you feel that, hey, you know what, I made a lot of money with you, I'm gonna give you $5, $10 a month, 20. I have a couple people that are there on 20, and I have one person actually there for $100 a month. If you are a $100 a month person and you are billed and it goes through, you get my cell phone number. You can text me whenever you want, or as a YouTube comment or a Facebook message. I will maybe get to 7, 8, 10 hours later, but a text message, you can always text, and I'll get back. As long as I'm not driving, I'll get back right away. Calvin Gui says, there's a new Pokemon song upcoming by Katy Perry. Know anything about it, Randy? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Electric. So I'm going to, it's not too bad today. They have teased that so many times. Katy Perry is very much a nerd. She was actually, she was made fun of when she was younger, like for being a nerd and being like, well, she also developed early, and I guess kids were making fun of her because she was like growing boobs. I was like, that's normal, like that's awesome. But she quoted, I called her having to wear an over-the-shoulder boulder holder just because she had to wear a bra, and it's like, okay, like really, like you're, that's what you were made fun of. But she was made fun of that, and one of the things that she took comfort in was Pokemon. So she's actually wanted to do this for a really long time. They announced it late last year or early this year. Katy Perry having a song coming out with them. They actually had an ad with them with Katy Perry singing the words "electric" for one of their things, just for their 25th anniversary year. Very, very happy with that. I don't know what it's going to be about, but she looks great in the makeup. She looks great in everything that she does. I love her. Dougie Fresh says, would you put more in OMI than Ethereum or Bitcoin? Me personally, yes. Well, I have already. Like I said, I had up to 4/5 of a Bitcoin, and now I only have 2/5 of a Bitcoin because I sold some of that to buy more OMI. I have more OMI than I put more into OMI than I have into Bitcoin. And I'm gonna split that when I sell that big card. 150 is going into OMI, 150 is going into Bitcoin. So I'm keeping it around the same, even though short term, all of it, OMI's gonna kick Bitcoin's ass as far as growth, because again, OMI's worth so little right now, and those coins are gonna go down. Whereas, what do you call it? Bitcoin will, I'll probably 4x by the end of the year. Probably be worth $200,000. Citibank says $300,000. Bloomberg says $400,000. And a lot of people are in between that $300,000 and $400,000. I think that's just sounds bananas. It sounds like so much. But again, with ETFs coming in, big institutions coming in, it makes sense. And that's why I'm loving this dip. So I bought $500 worth the other day. Again, that's why I only have $1,300 in my bank account that I sent to Ari Realty. I didn't send that to him. I just showed him the screenshot for those that weren't here before. He's like, I have more money invested in crypto than I have in my checking account. I was like, bet, me too. I have nothing in my checking account. Brian Flynn says, the great thing lately is that Earth 2 is not dead. There's money pouring in every day. I was looking at numbers today, and there's already hundreds of millions invested already. It's definitely here now. 100%. One more thing on Dougie Fresh for me, I'm putting more in OMI than Ethereum because I am. Because if safest is Bitcoin because that's the reserve currency for all crypto, but OMI I'm passionate about it. Again, I love it. The tokenomics are beautiful. The white paper is beautiful. Like this is attached to an insanely good disruptive project. I'm so in. I'm so in. So Brian Flint, just moving on to that one, says hundreds of millions invested already. It's definitely here now. Yeah, yeah. And some people sell, and again, when people sell, they sell for somebody has to buy what they're selling. So that's and again, if somebody buys a property for let's say $50, but then they need to get out for whatever reason, and they sell for $30. Okay, well, or two keep they net that. That they still have those profits. They don't have to give away the extra $20 to make up for that. They don't. Whatever's bought is bought, and then in the economy in that secondary market is what there. That's the beauty of a free market. I love it. Bama's Kevin says at Brian Heck. Yeah, I agree. Where am I here? 11:12. All right, only 8 minutes behind. Other countries haven't even found out about it, and it looked like it went viral in Korea. Yeah, this isn't even translated into other languages yet. That's what I love about it too. It's so raw. It's so new. Again, it's similar to a Comey where it's only got a couple 100,000 users, and that's it. And again, you still have the big people. You have the big whales like Joker and Predict and Talsa. Those people on those, the people that are not content creators, that are not like Nameless or King Tech Ops or British Guy Dork Slayer or whoever. They're not Aria Realties. They're not people that make content. They're people that just came in and Predict, she has a Discord. And she's always on Guidebook Gaming's channel, and she comes on here sometimes. She messages me. I love her. Smooches as well. A bunch of these people that don't create content themselves, but they are just in because they have money and they know this is a good deal. Like you're not going to put in over 6 figures into something that you don't think is going to go to the moon, that you don't think is going to go through the roof. You just don't do that. Again, if you have maybe Predict is worth $30 million and 300 grand that she put in is 1% of her 1% of her net worth. If so, baller. Definite baller. Nick Lucero says, yeah, I hear you. I sold the property to pick up more crypto, but as much as I love OMI, I'd like to add some more stable crypto growth, which is a wild sentence. Yeah, no, I hear you. So selling a property to pick up more crypto, yeah, because properties might appreciate, 5, maybe 10% a year? Definitely not. Definitely like 5% a year. But I guess it could make you money if you rent it out. Bitcoin, honestly, if you're more stable, Bitcoin, Ethereum are probably the only two that I would put in if you're looking for super stable. Which again, like stable for crypto is not stable for everyone else. Maybe I would do Cardano. Oh no, Binance Coin before Cardano. So it would be, and Binance Coin probably going down because Binance is getting investigated by the IRS and SEC right now. Not because of anything that they did. They've always been very compliant. It's just because that I think their government's going through like a thing, like a phase, we're gonna flex our guns. We're just gonna investigate some of these people just because we can, just to scare people, just because administration's whack. A lot of government is whack, not just Biden's. Like everyone's administration, Trump's and George Bush's, Clinton's, Obama's, every administration is crazy with power. But yeah, so I would do Bitcoin, Ethereum, Binance, then Cardano. If I were to do that, if I were not doing OMI, that's what I would do. I forget what I was about to say. I was going to say something else that happened to go with Brian Flint's thing. Had to do with money. Had to do with, I forget. It'll come back to me maybe, I hope, at some point. Dougie Fresh says, how did you part with your first edition PSA 10 Pokemon cards? Would have been hard for me to pack. Yeah, it was. A lot of what I did was to get that trophy Kangaskhan. I had to sell a lot of my collection. I was the third person in the world, or only one of 3 people, to have a completed first edition PSA 10 Gym Challenge set. Not just the holos, all 132 cards. There was only 2 other people in the world that had that. And literally like a month after I got that, I had to start selling. to pay for that trophy Kangaskhan. And my God, Giovanni's Persian was one of the hardest ones to sell because it was perfect. It had a swirl. It was a deep blue back, that perfect PSA 10, and I love that card because I used Persian back in the day. Because for those of you that don't know, in Pokemon the first generation, blue and red, and I think yellow as well, there was a glitch where you had, if you had a Pokemon with high speed, it had a higher chance of getting a critical hit. Dugtrio and Persian both used the move Slash. Slash was a move that had a high critical hit ratio. So if you had a Dugtrio or a Persian and you used Slash, you would get a critical hit every time. You wanted to use Persian because Persian was a normal type and Slash was a normal type move. So it got what's called a stab bonus, same type attack bonus, where it did an extra 50% damage. And I didn't even know that. I got Meowth in like south of Lavender, or west of Lavender Town. I got a Meowth, and Meowth knew Payday. I thought that was really cool. You attack the opponent, and then you get money after it was over. And I would use it so much, it eventually evolved into a Persian, and at level 50, I think it learned Slash. So the fact that I'm getting Giovanni's Persian was incredible, and then having to sell that I still think about that card clearly. The Blaine's Arcanines, the Misty's Golduck. Oh my God, that one's incredibly hard to. They're all, yeah. I hate it. John Doe says 200 a month. 200 a month for what, fam? 200 a month for what? Calvin Gui says, oh, are you talking about the Patreon? 200. There's only what right now is a tier, the friends and family, for 100 a month. If you want to pay 200 a month, yeah, you totally can. Calvin Gui says, I enjoyed her songs actually, and I'm a Pokemon fan, so I'm looking forward to that song. Yeah, me too. So my girlfriend likes Post Malone. Like, she loves Post Malone. I'm pretty sure she'd leave me for Post Malone. And he put on a Pokemon concert where he's all animated and, he's singing some of the songs. And it was really cool. And that was something me and my girlfriend got to enjoy together because she likes Post Malone and I love Pokemon. So it was perfect. That was a good night. Hopefully we can do that with Katy Perry as well. Doug E. Fresh says, agree, wise move. I definitely see more upside in Omi than Bitcoin. Yeah, same. Even though, again, Bitcoin is, I think that'll be $1 million a coin by 2030 or before 2030. But yeah, Omi, not that it'll get to $1 million a coin, it won't. But that's something I could see going. I said 3, 5, maybe by 2040 it goes to $10. Not having the same amount of coins that are out there right now. No, like a couple 100 billion will be it will be done at that point. But even if at let's say 10 billion left, 10 billion coins, at $10 a coin, that'd be 100 billion. So there's 100 billion coins left. That'd be a $1 trillion mark. That's a lot. That is a lot for. But although again, that's in 20 years. That's in 19 years from now. Having $1 trillion market cap for a crypto in 2040 is probably going to be relatively common. There's not just going to be one. Ethereum will get that as well. Ethereum will be $1 trillion market cap as well, definitely before 2040. But yeah, I believe it. If there's 100 billion coins left by 2040, having $10 a coin, making it worth $1 trillion market cap for that coin, not out of the realm. That's very, very likely, actually. 2040, yeah, $10 a coin, very, very likely. And again, 19 years will go very, very quickly. I'll still be in my 40s at that point, so I will still be close to being a boomer. I'll be 1 year older than what my girlfriend is now. My girlfriend's 48. So maybe in 18 years, when I'm my girlfriend's age, it might be $10 a coin. God, that's a long time. That's a long time. No, Frankie Boy 261 says, we need more users. I think Ecomi has done a great job with the recent drops, and they should be ready for 1 million users soon. Plus, 2 big exchanges might be better to sell the news once they do and then buy. I'm not 100% sure with that, and I'm gonna tell you why as soon as I get some agua. My leg. Sorry, I did legs at the gym before, so my. Okay, here we go. What was the question again? Okay. know they're working on it. Again, I just worry. Maybe it's me being a little worry wart, but I worry that we have these people, or I'm sorry, this app. Already, there's people saying like, "I'm ready to walk away from a Comey because they, I don't see any updates with the app." This like, oh my, people. I should probably just ignore those people because those people are just idiotic. They're just morons. They're just like, really, this app just got out of beta phase and they're ready to like walk away because they've sold out of everything that they dropped within 10 minutes. Like you're just that is borderline. They would probably not be allowed in the military. And when I say that is because anyone that has an IQ under 83 is not allowed in the military because there is nothing that they can do that isn't absolutely counterproductive. And those mother flappers will not be allowed because their IQ is definitely below that. Because they can't think far ahead. They just think in the now. But there are some concerns with I haven't had a smooth transaction. Ultraman was the smoothest, where but it goes, the site loads because there's so much traffic. There's like 100,000 users trying to go and buy on the drops. What happens when there's 2.5 million users, and then out of the 2.5 million users, 1 million people are trying to get these drops. That's so much bandwidth. That's so much computing power that it has to take for that. And there are going to be on more exchanges by the end of the year. Again, some of them will be just normal exchanges that probably no one's ever heard of, but I'm pretty sure one of them is going to be Binance. So you're going to get your wish on that one, and it will. But again, I want the price to stay down here so we can get as much as possible or as cheap as possible, and then to the moon. Dougie Fresh says, you think CRO can have that huge move that Binance had since they're similar platform? Well, it's a long-term thing. I didn't go deep down the rabbit hole with it, but yeah, no, I think that's something that I would put long-term because it would grow, up and down, but steady. Starting from here and then going along the lines of up here by the end of the decade. As big as Binance. They're not big as Binance Coin. Binance Coin's like $500 something a coin. It's ridiculous. But I mean, again, in 10 years, anything is possible. And John Doe says, how long of a name can a cryptocurrency name be? Like, should it be short like OMI, or could you have neutral response coin? Well, the one they had before, that computing coin, was nicknamed ICP, India Charlie Papa. So you could have something like neutral response coin and call it just NRC, November Romeo Charlie, and then it might catch on like that. Dougie Press says, wow, you had the complete set and you sold it. I did. I had to for that trophy. Because every card in that complete set, there's multiple copies of. The hardest ones to get were Giovanni's Persian and Misty's Gold Duck. And the reason why is because there's only like 50 of those in the world that are first edition PSA 10. Even the Blaine's Charizards, they're like 400 something first edition PSA 10s. They're worth like $7,000 each. So, it's very hard to get. But there's only 11 Trophy Kangaskhan, so I had to do that, and I was right to do that because even in the Pokemon world, not including the normies, the civilians that are just like, hey, you're spending $80,000 on a card. Did you just fly in from Stupid Town? It's like, no, this is very undervalued, and of course they don't listen to me because they think I'm spending $80,000 on children's cardboard, which I was, but They definitely looked at me different after that. But even in the Pokemon community, people are just like, listen, man, I know this one guy calls himself SM Pratt. He's like the prince of Pokemon. He had 2 of those cards at that time, and he had said, again, this is last year, saying like, yeah, I've declined, $60,000, offers for that card. So even though nobody had paid more than like $20,000-$30,000 for that card at that time, I knew it was undervalued because he had declined $60,000 offers at that point. So paying $80,000, yes, it was paying 4 or even 8x what it was prior, but I knew it was undervalued. And even before I got it, after we agreed on it, literally 2.5 months later, one sold for $150,000, another one sold for $150.1 thousand, and then the day I got it, SM Pratt said he had declined a $220,000 offer. And again, I'd only paid, $80K for it. And even now, there's 3 on eBay. There's 4 on eBay. One of them is mine, but the other 3, they will not take less than $400,000 for it. Like you could offer them $395,000. That is a hard no from them. So again, I'm selling it at a discount now when I don't want to. When I had to kill myself last year to get it, specifically for 3 things: for Bitcoin, for OMI, and for Earth 2, because the amounts that these 3 are going to grow, especially OMI and Earth 2, are going to far outpace what Trophy Kangaskhan will, which again, that'll be $1 million card by the end of the decade, but these will go much, much higher than that. John Doe says, aren't there Japanese versions of all these cards, so you technically had the English versions? Most of them had Japanese variants. For the Gym Challenge ones, the Japanese variants. Actually, there were some that were only available in Japanese. Like there's Sabrina's Psychic Control had her sticking out the middle finger. Where in this one, it's her whole hand she's sticking out with a Master Ball inside it or something like that. And then there's another one where it's called Misty's Tears. Now, Misty's Tears in Japanese was, you could see the outline of her, but it was a naked Misty crying over Staryu. And then in the English version, it's just Misty crying and Squirtle's crying as well. So that's that. So there were things that were changed in the English variants, and that's not just the Gym Challenge. That's across all of them. There's some artwork. There's some things that happen in Japanese that probably wouldn't fly in America, so they had to change it. For a couple of things. That's not just for Gym Challenge. That's for a lot of things. But the Trophy Kangaskhan, there had no English release for that. There was only available in Japan in 1998. That's not one of those things that someone might have in their attic or in their mom's basement. That's something that, again, you had to be really good, a good player in conjunction with a parent to get that card. Toadally Awesome says, hey, Randy, what's up, Toadally Awesome? How's it going? Kelvin Gui says, yeah, I can imagine that scale of Pokemon virtual concert in E2, actually. Dude, I can't wait. Pokemon concerts and just concerts in general. We have the guy that got a tattoo of me, that got a tattoo of the real Randy Chavez, said he's a rapper. And he's like, yeah, I can't wait to be part of your contest. Like, I can't wait for you to be part of my contest. I want to shake your hand in virtual reality, meet in real life. And then, again, my contests in Chavez-topia will be different ones. There'll be talent ones. There'll be physical sports ones. I'm definitely gonna have a boxing one. I want to box the other creators, and then singing, jokes, all that. What's it called? Oliver Jones music. He's gonna do that as well. I can't wait for all of it. It's gonna be epic. Jones, S1, Mr. S1J. He's gonna be in there as well. Maxwell Cook says officially Patreon. Oh my God. Maxwell Cook is officially a Patreon member. Let me see if I got the notification, and I did. Patreon, thank you so much. Shout out to Maxwell Cook. Thank you so much. Nick Fingar says, hey, Randy, just on for a second. Gonna watch this tomorrow. I tried out Veve today. Got a Kripken set after watching a video about staking OMI. I think you definitely watched Orion Crypto Trader, I think it is, which he speculates that in his video, the way that you can stake coins, you're going to be able to stake NFTs. If you have a complete set, you should be able to stake those NFTs. You should be able to rent them out. Just another way to build income. Just another way to build money. And yeah, he's very, very influential. Orion Crypto Trader is someone that I watched a couple of his videos when I was first getting into OMI. I think he only had the 2 videos at that point. But I watched it. He explains the relationship between OMI and Veve very, very clearly. Very, very good. Definitely recommend him. Toadally Awesome says, what price will Bitcoin be in the year 2140? I can give you maybe 2040. I don't know, like $3.5 million a coin by 2040. 3.5 to 5, 4 million, 4.5 million. 2140 is just way. If humanity doesn't blow itself up, yeah. Does that 82 IQ restriction apply during a draft? Yes, it does. And this was actually started, John Doe, in the, was it World War I or World War II? Where again, it started in there. That's where they started because they wanted to have as many qualified people into officers' positions as possible, and it started in the drafts of World War I and World War II. Again, I forget which one it was, but when they did that, they came to that conclusion. Okay, well, anyone on and so yeah, they might make some exceptions. Maybe if they create a job for you, it's like, okay, well, this person can clear dead bodies, this person can mop floors, whatever. But you have to. There's a couple of people that, again, depending on their intelligence, like there was this guy I was deployed with, a couple of guys. This guy was in ramp. These two guys were in ramp. This one guy, the guy who was in charge of shift, he was training this guy on dispatch, and for dispatch, it's much different than being out on the flight line. Dispatch, you have to know which people are where, what cargo is being uploaded. You have to basically, you have to know everything that's going on the flight line at once. And this one guy who was not technically savvy at all, he was from like Arkansas or West Virginia, like backwoods, could not figure out this computer. I was like, hey, listen, Sergeant, blah, blah, blah. Probably best to just have him, just be on the flight line, because I worked with that guy on the flight line. He was like, "Oh yeah, let's just download," blah, 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 blah. And I was like, "All right, yeah, he knows his stuff." So some people do have to be cognizant of other people's different types of intelligences. That guy worked with his hands, was a workhorse, was like an asset on the flight line, but on a computer having to talk on the radio to ATOC to everyone, to AMD, just like, okay, that's too much for him. But ask him to tie down some stuff, ask him to download stuff, perfect. So yeah, it's very different for some people, but yeah, under 82 applies for everything right now, I believe, even in times of draft. Again, I believe. Axel Cook says 1 million people trying to get 15 to 25,000 drops. Sellouts will only get faster. Yeah, agree. And that's when 1 million people trying to get on might be when we have 2.5 million people. When we have 10 million people, 3 to 4 million people trying to get on, and 10 million people is not. It's not something that's going to be in like 10 years from now. No. When Pokemon Go came out, they had like 150 million active users at that time. It's ridiculous. It has over 100 million downloads still, and there's still millions of that. It still makes $1 billion a year, or maybe it doesn't make that much anymore. But even something like Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, which I was playing, there's 50 million downloads. Digimon, which their games are poop. They have something that over 1 million downloads. So the fact that this, which is disrupting collectibles, is going to be, that's 1 million is just the first milestone. 10 million is the next. 50, 100 million is the next. Maxwell Cook says, Randy, if there are only 11 PSA 10 Kangs, keep it. What happens if 9 burn in a fire? Well, again, the only reason why I'm selling is because I could make up that money by selling the rest of my Pokemon, and then the rest of my Tesla, and taking the rest of my aging receivables, and then putting that into Bitcoin and OMI. But even then, I won't make as much. Again, that $350,000 that it's worth, that's the bulk of my net worth, is that card. That's what helped me retire, or one of the things that helped me retire. And I just won't have enough. That's where I get the most liquid thing out of, where I can keep my Tesla, I can keep everything else. I don't have to pay capital gains on my Tesla. With this, normally you'd still have to pay capital gains, but if you get this, if you own a business, if I get those profits and then I transfer it to another asset like crypto, then I don't have to pay taxes on it until I sell that crypto. So it's not like I'm dodging taxes, not doing that. That's just something where you go along and you transfer that wealth to another asset. And when you do that, it's just a transfer of assets. You don't pay until you sell that actual asset. Moving on. John Doe says, who would you say are the biggest E2 YouTubers besides you and Ari Realty? Well, YouTubers? Probably Earth2 Meta. He's pretty good. Yeah, obviously on Twitch you have Guidebook Gaming, so Nameless and Tech Ops are great. Mitch Pim's making a good name for himself. Earth2 Odyssey. Earth 2 Mastery, I don't think he does Earth 2 videos anymore. I think he just went to Omi. Whereas I obviously do both. But well, I mentioned Earth 2 Meta, the Bowl Combo still does videos every Sunday, I believe. Again, Mitch Pym. There's like Earth 2 fake news guys. Those guys are hilarious. But yeah, there's really not too many that are on this amount of. I'm sorry, I just had a big notification come in with. All right, disregard. With this amount of clout, I don't think there really are. Just me and Ariel 2 are the ones that do it consistently. Again, Earth 2 Meta is getting up there, but I don't think he streams every day. I don't think he does daily content. Earth 2 Tile Life was doing daily content, but then they just completely left. Earth 2 giveaways, though, giveaways every single video, which is great. Maxwell Cook says, in 2140, upload will be real. Watch the first episode after the stream, LOL. Yeah, that'd be interesting to see all my videos in a second. You know, if you merge with artificial intelligence at that point, that'd be pretty crazy. It is a hour 30, and you know what that means? More Patreon music. Earth, wind, fire, and air. We might look bad, but we don't care. Earth, wind, fire, and air. That is from Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost, I believe. Those were the Hex Girls that were playing. I love them. They're great. Good times. John Doe says, couldn't people fake their IQ just to get out of the draft? Make themselves less smart than they really are? I mean, if you want to play that card, if you want to... I guess you could. Also, if you're in college, you don't have to join the draft. I don't think. At least that was the thing. You're in college. Bill Clinton was not in college, but then when the draft came, he was like, "Oh, I'm going to go to college." So he did that to kind of get out of it. There's a bunch of different ways. If you're out of the country, if you're in college, if you act dumb. Well, again, it's very hard to get in the military. So if you have diabetes, I don't think you get it. If you have asthma, I don't think you can get in. It's not just being a certain amount of intelligence, which again, that certain amount of intelligence, 90% of the people in the world are that intelligence. So that only really negates 10%, those 10% of those people. But healthy wise, like you can be fat and go to college. You can have allergies and go to college. You can have less than an 82 IQ and go to college. It's just hard to get in because they have so many restrictions. And again, you have people that are huge, that are so jacked, that are so massive, but the military has this weird thing where they want you to have a certain waist measurement, which I know some guys that struggled with this that were in much better shape than me. And I don't mean they were just jacked. I mean that, yes, they could do push-ups, sit-ups, pull-ups all the live long day. They could deadlift a lot more than me, and bench a lot more than me, and they were faster than me. I'm talking about like football player level sprinting fast. And in the military, you have to run like a mile and a half in like 10 minutes or something like that. It's relatively easy. But these guys were faster, but they just didn't have that. You have to have under like a 36-inch waist to get like full points. You have to have under a 40-inch waist, but these guys that were like ex-football players, they had like 40, 41-inch waists, but they were acing the PT test, but they would fail because they didn't have that waist measurement. That's idiotic. That's stupid. That really needs an overhaul. A lot of things need an overhaul. Randy Homies, Quad Shoto said, you should see if someone will trade 7 Bitcoin. I've tried going to that guy and saying, listen, I'll give you a discount if you're paying crypto. There was actually, I sold a first edition Shining Mewtwo from Neo Destiny set, and he paid in crypto. It was $5,000. He paid in crypto, played in Bitcoin. It was like, perfect, done. It was great, but he doesn't have it. What did I miss with the draft? No, we were just going back and forth about military drafts and just about how if you don't have a 83 IQ and above, you are ineligible for military service because they have determined that they cannot teach you a job that isn't absolutely counterproductive, and you would basically cost more than to train than you would be productive. So that's why they have that rule, and they made that like a century ago. They made that a long time ago, that decision. So it has been an hour and a half. I'm very tired. My voice hurts. I have to go. I do have to bounce. I love you guys. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. Again, Guidebook Gaming and Rayfax. Thank you for those super chat. Thank you, Maxwell Cook, for becoming a Patreon of mine. Actually, Maxwell Cook, I'm going to keep this live for you to witness the... right here. It's going down. You are number 34, fam. 34. I'm going to write you as Maxwell. How do I spell your last name? Oh, it's Cook. Cook. And what is today's date? It is 13 May 2021. There we go. This is it for Max Cook. What's it going to be? Hit him with the left. Hit him with the right. It's a fight. Hit him with the left. Hit him with... Oh, God. I'm missing your name. There it is. It's a fight. Oh, I got a little creed for you. Just watch the first episode. You will understand. We are headed that way. VR, an alternate and afterlife. Shun. 100%. Megatron, you heard, says meow, meow, meow. Thanks again. Everyone say bye-bye, Dashi. Bye-bye. Goodbye, guys. I love you guys. Bye. Meow, meow, meow.